Ugadi 2026, the Hindu New Year and what the sky is saying. Welcome to this video and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take the opportunity to explain the Hindu New Year, which is the cosmic dawn of 2026 as we understand it astrologically. Let's start by answering the question, what is Ugadi? Every culture on earth marks a new year, but not every new year is the same. Some new years are simply a number changing on a calendar. Ugadi is something different. Ugadi is a new year written in the sky itself. This is the moment the sun crosses the celestial equator, when day and night are equal, and the northern hemisphere begins to receive its highest surge of solar energy. Ancient Vedic scholars notice something remarkable about this moment. For the 21 days following Ugadi, the earth is quite literally being recharged. If you observe closely, seeds sprout, trees put on new leaves, the biological world resets itself. And traditional teachers tell us that the human system resets with it. This is not just poetry, it is the science of the lunisolar calendar, which, unlike the fixed Gregorian year, breathes in rhythm with both the sun and the moon together. So when we celebrate Ugadi, we are not just making the passage of time, we are aligning ourselves consciously with the moment the cosmos offers us a fresh beginning. The 60-year cycle. In the Vedic tradition, time moves in cycles. One of the most beautiful of these is the 60-year cycle of the Samvatsaras. A Samvatsara is a Sanskrit word for year. And in this system, each of the 60 years carries its own name, its own quality, its own flavor of experience. Why 60 years? Because it takes Jupiter approximately 12 years to travel around the Sun, and Saturn approximately 30. The point where their cycles returns to the same relative positions is 60 years. Every 60 years, the two great karmic planets of our solar system come home to where they began. And when they do, the cycle starts again from year one. We are currently in year 40 of this cycle. The name of this year is Parabhava. The meaning of Parabhava. Parabhava, at first glance, this word can seem a little daunting. Its literally meaning includes defeat, humiliation, and the fall of the ego. But before any anxiety arises, let us go deeper. Some Vedic scholars break the word differently. Para means supreme or transcendental, and bhav means existence or being. So Parabhav can also be understood as the year of divine existence or of connection with the divine. A year in which we are invited to discover divine presence in the ordinary moments of our lives. The year does not promise ease for those who are attached to pride or self-importance, but for those who are genuinely seeking growth, humility, and inner transformation, this year is a doorway. The ego that falls in Parabhav is the ego that was already blocking the light. And when it falls, what remains is something far more beautiful. The Planetary Cabinet for this year. One of the most distinctive features of the Vedic New Year is something called the Planetary Cabinet. On the first day of every new year, specific planets are assigned specific roles in governance. Think of it like the leadership team for the year ahead. For Parabhav 2026 to 2027, the cabinet looks like this. Jupiter is the king. Mars is the minister. The moon is the commander. And Jupiter also governs the crops and abundance of the land. Jupiter as king is genuinely a good sign. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, grace, generosity, and genuine growth. A Jupiter-led year tends towards abundance in agriculture, in spiritual life, and in collective wisdom. But his minister is Mars, and Mars brings fire. Mars as a minister means the year will not be passive. It will require discipline, decisive action. It brings heat to the administrative and political atmosphere. The combination of Jupiter and Mars says, this is a year to build, but to build with wisdom rather than ambition, to act with strength but without aggression, to move forward without leaving behind the things that truly matter. As the war goes on, we will become more aware of what it is that truly matters, such as keeping world peace and a balanced trade, a balanced relationship with others. The sky on the day of Ugadi. On March 19th, 2026, the sky presents something remarkable. 4 planets are gathered in the sign of Pisces. The Sun, the Moon, Saturn, and Venus are all meeting in the final sign of the zodiac. This is called the Chaturgrahi Yoga, a 4-planet conjunction, and it falls in Pisces, the sign of dissolution, surrender, and the deep spiritual ocean. This is the sky saying very clearly, before the new year begins, something must be released. The old patterns, the old structures, the old stories we have been telling about ourselves must go. Pisces asks us to let them dissolve into the ocean of grace. Only then can the new cycle truly begin. Now let's take a look at the major transits of the year 2026. There are 3 great planetary movements that we must observe in the gap of 2026 to 2027. Jupiter moves from Gemini into Cancer on June 2nd of 2026. This is one of the most significant moments of the entire year. Cancer is the sign of home, family, heart, and deep emotional roots. And Cancer is the sign where Jupiter is exalted, meaning he is at his most powerful and most generous. When Jupiter enters Cancer in June, a palpable shift will occur in the collective atmosphere. The restless, idea-driven energy of Gemini gives way to something warmer and more grounded. This is a time for protecting what matters, for nurturing relationships, for building from the heart rather than from ambition. Jupiter in Cancer favors agriculture, family life, and genuine spiritual depth. The months from June onwards carry a particular sweetness. Saturn remains in Pisces throughout all of 2026. Saturn entered Pisces in March 2026 and will not leave until June 2027. Saturn in Pisces is a karmic teacher working in the realm of endings, dreams, and the subconscious. He is asking us to take responsibility for what we have been avoiding, to face the illusions we have built and the patterns we have allowed to continue. For those willing to do this inner work, Saturn in Pisces is a profound purifier. For those who resist, however, the pressure simply will intensify. This placement also initiates or deepens the Sadesati, the 7.5-year Saturn cycle for Aries, Pisces, and Aquarius Moon signs. And then in December, the nodes will shift. Rahu moves from Aquarius into Capricorn. Ketu moves from Leo into Cancer. This nodal shift on December 5th, 2026, marks the closing chapter of the year. The collective focus turns from questions of social identity and collective ideals towards something more personal, more structural, more deeply rooted. For most of 2026, however, Rahu in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo create a particular quality in the collective atmosphere. Ketu in Leo is dissolving the throne. It makes worldly recognition feel hollow. For those who have been building kingdoms of self-importance, this year will feel destabilizing. But for those seeking genuine inward depth, Ketu in Leo is a blessing. It provides the detachment needed to move from being the doer to being an instrument. And Rahu in Aquarius is simultaneously broadcasting outward, amplifying the call for collaboration, for networks of genuine human connection, for solutions that serve not just the individual but the whole. Together they create what we might call the axis of the humble leader. Go inward to find the pure heart, and then let that pure heart serve the world. The 6 tastes of the year. One of the most beautiful rituals of Ugadi is the Ugadi Pachadi. It is a mixture of 6 distinct tastes consumed together as the first food of the new year. Sweet, bitter, sour, spicy, tangy and salty, all 6 in one bowl. And this is not just a culinary tradition, it is a spiritual vow. By tasting all 6 together, we are saying, I accept whatever this year brings, the sweetness of joy and the bitterness of hardship, the spice of friction and the sourness of disappointment, the tangy surprise of the unexpected, and the grounding saltiness of fear. All of it is life. All of it is welcome. All of it is part of the sacred curriculum of the soul. For 2026 specifically, these 6 tastes map beautifully onto the planetary cabinet. Jupiter the king brings the sweetness, the rewards of sincere practice, the grace of genuine spiritual effort. Mars, the minister, brings the spice, the heat of action, the friction of the necessary change, the courage required to build something real. Saturn in Pisces brings the bitterness of the medicine, the hard lesson that, like neem, are difficult but essential for long-term health. The moon as commander brings the sour quality of shifting emotions and public mood. Mercury as lord of grains brings the tangy surprise of new ideas and unexpected turns. And the salt, the grounding fear that keeps us humble and present, is the balance that holds all the others together. What the year predicts. For the economy, the year carries a pattern of gradual revival, particularly after Jupiter enters Cancer in June. Fuel prices may ease in the second half of the year, but the first months carry some volatility, particularly around metals and technology, driven by the Mars and Rahu energy in Aquarius. The overall message for financial life: protect what you have built rather than taking large, impulsive risks. For agriculture and rainfall, Jupiter is both king and lord of crops, is a genuinely favorable sign. Adequate rainfall is predicted, with good yields and grains in diary. However, there is a noted caution around mid-year for flash flooding and seismic activity in certain regions. For global leadership, the year favors those who lead with resolve and genuine purpose. But the Parabhava currently will not be kind to leaders operating purely from ego or self-interest. The humbling quality of the year is real. Those who serve will be sustained. Those who dominate will find the ground shifting beneath them. For spirituality, this is generally a year of turning inward. More people will seek genuine practice, genuine community, genuine meaning. The cultural tide is turning to depth. The celestial frequency of Parabhava is calling the sincere ones back home. A word for each sign. Very briefly, a quality to hold for each sign. Aries, a year of professional growth and recognition. Channel the energy wisely and keep the temper steady. Taurus, the focus is family and finance. Settle debts, build stability, and let go of pride in relationships. Gemini, intellectual and spiritual flowering. New learning, new creative openings. Watch the health and rest the restless mind. Cancer, one of the most graceful years of the cycle. Rest, recharge, and allow yourself to be held. Leo, social influence grows, but the year asks for genuine inner detachment. Share the credit and watch the ego carefully dissolve. Virgo, career recognition and stability. Leadership is possible. Let service guide every decision. Libra, travel, legal resolution, and favorable winds. Financial stability supports the outer journey. Scorpio, a year of deep transformation. Joint resources and intuition are the compass. Sagittarius, relationships and partnerships come to the center. Humility is the key to genuine harmony. Capricorn, a year for overcoming obstacles. Quiet strength and consistent effort bring real results. Aquarius, creativity and inspired contribution. Break traditions wisely and do not let eccentricity isolate the support around you. Pisces, the spiritual epicenter of the year. Come home to yourself. Listen to your dreams. How to navigate the year. Let me leave you with the practices that tradition recommends for Parabhava year. Honor Jupiter, the king of the year. A simple prayer to Lord Vishnu on Thursdays. Act of genuine giving each week, however small. An orientation towards wisdom over accumulation. Channel Mars, the minister, wisely. Move forward with discipline and purpose, but pause before reacting from anger or impatience. The heat of Mars is a tool, not a master. Honor the Piscean invitation of Saturn. Do the inner work you have been postponing. Face the pattern honestly. Build the inner structures that will last. And use the 21 days following the Ugadi as a natural reset. This is a period of highest solar charging. Begin a new practice, however modest. A few minutes of stillness in the morning. A brief journaling of what you truly value. A small act of service offered with genuine love. The simple actions, taken during the Earth's natural recharging window, carry more weight than you might expect. Closing. Parabhava is not a threatening year, it is an honest one. It is the year the universe asks us gently but firmly to let go of what we are not, so we can finally inhabit what we are. The ego that falls in Parabhava is the cage, not the bird. And when the cage opens, what flies out is something you have been carrying all along. The planet is recharging. The invitation is open. May this year bring you the sweetness of genuine growth, the courage of necessary change, and the grace of knowing you are already being held. Happy Ugadi, everyone. Radhe Radhe. May the goddess of love bless your life.